From a surprise announcement to the news of Tom Hardy returning for the third part, here's the exciting update Hardy revealed about Venom 3. The ending of Far From Home showed us a more mature Peter Parker, but that doesn't mean the Spidey universe is gonna stop anytime soon. And one of the movies scheduled to release is Venom 3, a part of a series of movies that help set up the universe that Spider-Man inspired. Fans last saw Hardy's Eddie Brock briefly in Spider-Man No Way Home, after he and the symbiote had been brought to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, while this did not lead to any major plot points, it was probably the last time fans saw Eddie Brock, and just after a short appearance, Hardy's character was sent back to his world. But not long after that, Sony Pictures made a proper announcement about Venom 3. You see, since Hardy had a cameo in Spider-Man No Way Home, there hasn't been much news about how Venom 3 is coming along, and after months of silence, Hardy surprised his fans on Instagram by revealing that Venom 3 is now in pre-production. And as a way to keep fans up to date on the project, the actor also shared a scene from a previous Venom movie that was cut out. Well, you can check out the scene, but I'm also telling you about it myself. The scene shows Eddie and the symbiote having a funny conversation that was cut out from the movie's final cut. Oh man, the things fans could have seen. But with the news about Venom 3 entering pre-production, there's still one thing that still isn't clear, and that's Sony Pictures not revealing a timeline for the movie's release. You see, Kelly Marshall was hired to write and direct Venom 3 in late October 2022. She's already familiar with Venom movies because she wrote the first two and was a producer on them. And apart from Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, who plays Anne Wang, is the only other cast member expected to return for Venom 3. But let's address the elephant in the room for once. Well, it's also not clear if Venom 3 will deal with the fact that a piece of the symbiote's still stuck in the MCU. I mean, this was hinted at by Hardy's cameo in Spider-Man No Way Home, but there's a good chance that this part of No Way Home will be resolved in Venom 3, which will be about Brock looking for his world Spider-Man. If that happens, it's not clear if the threequel will have a new Spider-Man, or if it will connect to Madam Web, which is rumored to feature a young Peter Parker. But no matter what, it's clear that Hardy is working hard with Sony Pictures to make Venom 3's story interesting. And as of now, no one knows when Venom 3 will come out, but filming is scheduled to start in June. Now, here's what I'm thinking. While Eddie and Venom's story has been told in such a way that Spider-Man doesn't fit, that still doesn't mean they don't deserve to fight him. You see, after first merging with Spider-Man in the comics, and then taking Eddie Brock as its main host, Venom became one of Spider-Man's most famous and well-known villains. He was also considered one of his three biggest enemies, joining the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus. But since then, Venom's become more of an anti-hero and has worked with Spider-Man a couple of times, so I think their meetup on the big screen is overdue. But while I fantasize about Tom Hardy sharing the screen with Holland's Spider-Man, this seems unlikely, and that's because of the events of No Way Home. Before Spider-Man's third solo film, fans thought Venom and Spider-Man might finally meet each other as Peter's secret identity would be out in the open.
Where are we? What did you do?
It wasn't me.
Incredibly, this shocking revelation brought to light by yours truly has only raised more
What is it?
light of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, aka the Spider Menace. But rest.
They even thought that they lived in the same universe. But No Way Home quickly put an end to the speculation by showing that Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, Mark Webb's The Amazing Spider-Man movies, and Sony's Spider-Man universe are part of the MCU's multiverse, but they're separate from Spider-Man's MCU universe. And because of this, Hardy's Venom and Holland's Spider-Man cannot meet yet. This puts an end to the speculation about Spider-Man appearing in Venom 3, because, well, they would have to meet in another huge multiverse showdown. But one thing still doesn't make sense to me. In the post-credit scene of No Way Home, Eddie decides he needs to talk to Spider-Man to make sense of what he's been told happened in the MCU. But now that he's back in his universe, this really doesn't make any sense. So does that mean Spider-Man can still fight Venom in the MCU? Well, I think yes, but not Tom Hardy's version. Let me explain. As I talked about before, Hardy's Venom and Holland's Spider-Man should meet in a way that makes sense, but only if there's more chaos in in the multiverse that brings them together, and this would depend on when exactly Venom 3 takes place. You see, now that the MCU's multiverse has introduced the idea of variants, which is how Maguire and Garfield Spider-Man came back, I think there could be a Peter Parker waiting in Venom's universe for a chance to meet Eddie and the symbiote. But until more is revealed about the plot of Venom 3 and where it fits in the timeline, these seem to be the only ways it could include Spider-Man, whether Holland's version or a different one. I gotta say, while Spider-Man No Way Home was exciting, it did make it harder to tell other Spidey stories. And that also means Venom's Sony appearances can't possibly be over yet, going back to 1984's Secret Wars, when Peter Parker tried to replace his broken suit on Battleworld with a piece of symbiote he found. It wrapped itself around his body and turned into Spider-Man's iconic black suit. But here's the thing, due to the grounded style of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, this part of Spider-Man comic book history couldn't be adapted correctly. But it can now be done correctly, as was the case in the MCU's Avengers Secret Wars.
No, I think you got that covered. We're good. No, I don't love you. You know, I mean, I like you a lot. I really like you, but love, you know, yeah, you know.
You see, the Secret War event is a great chance for Venom to play a big part in an MCU crossover, all while not taking too much attention away from the main plot. It can also fit nicely between Venom 3 and Spider-Man's big screen battle with Venom in Spider-Man 4 or Spider-Man 5. On top of that, Avengers Secret Wars multiverse story can finish bringing Eddie Brock and the original Venom to the MCU. Or if Sony and Marvel Studios agree, it can let Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Tom Hardy's Venom, and Sony's Sinister Six have a big free-for-all battle in a new Spider-Man-centered crossover event. Honestly, I think it's only a matter of when, and when Venom finally comes to the MCU, Spider-Man will finally be able to get his iconic symbiote suit, and you know what that means, he'll get to fight one of his most famous enemies. At the same time, Venom will also be able to take part in stories that don't involve Spider-Man, just to name a few of his recent comic book adventures.
Too late.
I wish for you to see out your days alone, as you always have been.
Watch it, pal. Where are you going with this?
You are a cancer to everyone who ever loved you, Eddie. Deceived your trusting fiancé.
Venom has joined the Guardians of the Galaxy, has been a part of a symbiote invasion, and fought the symbiote god named Null. But do you know what's interesting? Sony has also been making its own super team of anti-heroes, and Vulture, Morbius, and Kraven, the first 3 members of the Sinister Six, are part of this. So it would be very strange to say goodbye to Venom before he got to be in an MCU or Sony crossover movie, especially since Venom's been Sony's most popular character up to this point. And while Venom 3 would be the last movie in a trilogy, it could be the start of a new era for Venom on the big screen. With that being said, that's all from me on Tom Hardy revealing an exciting update regarding Venom 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.